Good evening, friends.
Today's top medical headlines are led by the FDA's historic accelerated approval of zidesamtinib, Jadaytro, a highly selective ROS1 inhibitor designed to fight advanced lung cancer. This breakthrough provides a critical lifeline for patients facing treatment-resistant mutations and brain metastases. Alongside this development, major shifts in global health policies, critical regulatory crackdowns, and massive advancements in AI-driven healthcare are dominating the field. Target audience: medical professionals, students, tech health enthusiasts, and a globally informed public. Segment 1, the lead story: FDA approves Jadaytro for advanced lung cancer.
Welcome back to the channel.
Today is Friday, July 24, 2026, and we are starting with a massive breakthrough in oncology. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has officially granted accelerated approval to Jadaytro, zidesamtinib, a game-changing drug developed by GSK for adult patients suffering from locally advanced or metastatic ROS1-positive non-small cell lung cancer.
Now, why is this a big deal?
This drug is specifically approved for patients who have already undergone prior ROS1 inhibitor therapies but have seen their cancer mutate and resist treatment. In the clinical trials, Jadaytro demonstrated a staggering 44% objective response rate. More importantly, it is uniquely engineered to cross the blood-brain barrier, showing massive efficacy against tumors that have spread to the brain.
GSK has confirmed that this life-saving medication will hit pharmacy shelves within the coming weeks.
This marks a monumental shift in how we approach targeted, second-line cancer treatments.
Segment 2, clinical trial updates and global pipeline shifts.
Moving from a major approval to a sudden halt in the global drug pipeline.
French pharma giant, Sanofi, has just announced that it is completely discontinuing the clinical development of amlitelimab for moderate to severe atopic dermatitis. Amlitelimab was a highly anticipated monoclonal antibody designed to block the OX40 ligand, aiming to treat severe eczema without depleting T cells. However, following a strategic pipeline assessment, Sanofi decided not to submit it for global regulatory reviews. While this is a setback for dermatology, Sanofi reassured investors that it will not impact their full-year financial guidance. Meanwhile, in the clinical trial space, we are keeping a close eye on Celldex Therapeutics and their drug barzolvolimab.
It is currently in late-stage testing for chronic spontaneous urticaria, a debilitating condition causing severe hives. Early data suggests it is incredibly fast-acting, driving down mast cells much quicker than existing options like Xolair. We are eagerly awaiting their definitive Phase 3 data readout coming later this year. Segment 3, medical infrastructure, policies, and crisis management.
Next, let's look at major international medical policy changes, starting with India. The country's medical education system has been under immense scrutiny due to the recent NETUG medical entrance exam controversies. Today, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the implementation of fast-track courts to rapidly prosecute and enforce strict punishments for examination fraud and paper leaks.
At the same time, India's Ministry of Health has made a massive push toward rural healthcare. Minister of State for Health, Anupriya Patel, revealed in Parliament today that since 2014, the number of medical colleges in India has exploded from 387 to 844, nearly tripling undergraduate MBBS seats to over 139,000. They are also mandating a new family adoption program, where every medical student must adopt rural families to bridge the urban-rural healthcare divide.
Shifting gears to the United States, healthcare economics are taking a hit.
Major hospital operator Community Health Systems, CHS, reported a severe drop in quarterly earnings today. They attributed this to a massive rise in uninsured patients, stemming from spiked premiums on the Affordable Care Act exchanges, forcing Americans to completely defer elective surgeries. Segment 4, emerging biotech, AI and precision medicine breakthroughs.
Let's move into the future of healthcare, AI and precision medicine. Australia's Victorian government has just injected $3 million into a series of cutting-edge research projects. The standout? Monash University has secured $500,000 to build an AI-powered diagnostic platform specifically designed to detect heart disease in women much earlier than standard cardiac tests can.
Historically, women's cardiovascular symptoms have been misdiagnosed. This AI model changes
that paradigm.
Furthermore, the Peter MacCallum Cancer Center has launched a world-first trial that sequences a patient's own tumor DNA to dynamically adjust and personalize chemotherapy in real time, drastically reducing toxic side effects while maximizing tumor destruction.
On the consumer tech side, Samsung is pushing the envelope on preventative care with its newly cleared AI features on the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 and Watch 9. Backed by fresh FDA clearance, their new algorithms don't just track your metrics, they translate continuous biometric data into medical-grade alerts for sleep apnea and detect cardiovascular deviations before you even feel sick. Segment 5: Global Health Security, Epidemics, and Palliative Care. In global health security, infectious disease protocols are tightening up significantly. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has issued an urgent health directive through the U.S. Embassy in Kampala. To mitigate the rising risk of an Ebola outbreak, the administration has restricted U.S. entry for any travelers, including American citizens, who have been in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, within the last 21 days. Airlines are barred from boarding these passengers onto U.S.-bound commercial flights, emphasizing how high the stakes are right now for global biosecurity. On a final, more compassionate note in oncology, a landmark randomized trial out of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, in New Delhi was published today. The study proved that introducing supportive palliative care at the exact moment of a breast cancer diagnosis, rather than waiting until curative treatments fail, drastically improves a patient's long-term quality of life. This provides a vital, cost-effective blueprint for oncology care in low- and middle-income nations where advanced-stage diagnoses are incredibly common. Mental health issues. In a Danish study, the odds of being diagnosed with small cell lung cancer were higher for people who had seen a mental health professional for the first time in the past year for illnesses such as anxiety, depression, and dementia. It might be because of how the cancer affects your immune system or hormones, or that it can spread to the brain. High calcium levels related to cancer can also cause confusion, muddled thinking, and depression. Depression. WebMD. People with a history of statin use had almost a 50% lower risk of two major complications after surgery for retinal detachment, a large propensity-matched analysis showed. Among almost 7,500 patients undergoing retinal detachment surgery, the risk of proliferative vitreoretinopathy, PVR, and rate of complex reoperation were 47% and 48% lower, respectively, in statin users. High-dose statin therapy had the most consistent association with reduced risk of the two complications. MedPage Today. DEXA. In middle-aged adults, greater visceral adipose tissue measured using DEXA was independently associated with higher phenotypic age acceleration in both men and women and with shorter leukocyte telomere length, another biomarker of biological aging, in women but not in men. Medscape. Segment 6, Wrap-Up, Key Takeaways and Community Discussion. That wraps up your comprehensive medical brief for today, July 24, 2026. From the FDA clearance of Jadaytro changing the landscape of advanced lung cancer treatment, to the integration of clinical AI in everyday wearables, the medical world is evolving at a breakneck pace. What do you think is today's most disruptive story? Are you eager to see how AI-driven cardiac care changes medicine, or are you closely watching the new clinical trial pipelines? Drop your comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for daily scientific updates, and turn on notifications. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video. Disclaimer: compiled information. This content is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional advice. The audience must verify the contents before use. The creator, publisher, and YouTube will not be responsible for any harm.